So I've just gone through my stash and found there's 5 different colours. I haven't picked the silver one out because I didn't think it would go with that colour. I'm kind of fancying the black, to be honest. I like the black. That's completely the wrong colour for sure. Copper, wrong colour for that colour yarn. And then this is like an antique brass type thing. That colour looks okay, but I think I really like the black one. It's quite striking, so I'm going to put the black one on this purse. So we'll get to where we were at the end of the blue video, let me call it that. We've opened the purse, we're ready to attach the clasp onto the purse. So we started in the middle, pull the yarn through, let's take that stitch marker out, pull the yarn through, and what I always tend to do is split my yarn underneath the knot and then pull it up to the top, and then it'll be hidden in the clasp. So that's where we're at. We know that these knobbly parts of the clasp have to end up where the stitch markers are, so that's where we're going to start. We've already attached the thread to the top of the purse, and we're going to go through the all right, hold on, let me do this properly. Let's bring my needle up. The best way to do it, first of all, is just to feed the inside of the top rim of the purse into this clasp. So it's sitting inside like that. Then you'll see how nicely it's going to fit. And to get it started, we just need to get one stitch in. So we are going to, we've got the thread attached to the crochet work. We're just going to pick the centermost hole on the clasp next to the little knobbly bit and pull that thread through. Now, the way to work it, what I always do is I get my scissors and I use the sides of the scissors to basically push this lip into the clasp. So I'm going to pull that up and hold it tight. There's no point in doing all of it at the beginning because it will come out. So you just need to put a few stitches at a time, force them up into that lip on the clasp. We'll just do those first two and get a couple of stitches in. Once you've got the first lot in, it will push in a lot easier. So we've come through here, we're going to go back into the next hole. Make sure that you bring it down at an angle so that you're really getting a good grab on the crochet work. You see there's a good 1/4 of an inch there below the lip. Pull it through. Because I'm using macrame thread, give that a little push back in. Because I'm using macrame thread, it's not going to be a straightforward sewing. Embroidery thread is easier. Nylon thread is easier still. So we've got that in there. Then we're going to come out through the next hole on the, see there, we've got one stitch. We're going to come out through the next hole. Easiest way for me, I find, is to back stitch. So then we'll go back in that hole on the purse. You will have to go kind of down at an angle to get it through. I'm actually using about 4 single strands of the macrame cotton here. The more strands you put on, the harder it will be to sew with. So and here, just as you're going around, just encourage it up into the lip and just hold it. So we've come in through there, so we're going to come out through the next hole. And then go back in through the hole before. Now obviously I'm using quite a contrasting, oh, that doesn't want to come through. I'm using quite a contrasting colour clasp here. You've got 2 options. You can either stick with the colour of your crochet coin purse, or you could actually just go with a complementary colour for the clasp. So you could use a black yarn if you were so inclined. So in through there again. I'm going to take you through to the end. We're just back stitching. We are encouraging the crochet into the groove with the scissors and holding it in place while we stitch it. So where are we? We're here, so we need to come out through that hole. Yeah, I don't know why I'm using macrame cotton. It's a bit of a nightmare to sew with, to be honest. Back in. Okay, in, out through the next hole. And back in. So basically it's just a basic back stitch all the way around. Encourage the crochet up into the groove. There. And then out through the next stitch, which is about there. There you go. And back in again. Out through the next. And back in again. So we're nearly at this. You see now the way using the scissors, it's pushed the crochet right up into the clasp, and that's a lovely fit there. So we're coming out through this one. And back in again. And then this is the last hole on that little part of the clasp. So we'll come in, out through the last hole. There. And back in again. So that is one part of the clasp sewn on and beautifully attached. So now we've reached the hinge part. And what I always do when I get to that point, I line up that clasp with that stitch marker. Hook it over if you want, like that. Then push the crochet up. You see, even though it looks quite big, it fits lovely. So all we're going to do to move across is literally run the needle through across to the other side of the opening, pull it through, and then we're ready to start stitching this part and stitch around here. Again, get the scissors, encourage the work up into the clasp, and then get a stitch in. There. So, oops, I'm caught, my thread's caught on the bobble. And then, so that is it. That's all you have to do. Obviously, continue going round the purse, sew all the way around. When you get to there, just slip your yarn across the gap again, as you've just done on this side. Go to there and fasten off, and then I will meet you back at that point with the blue purse, because I want to get the video on today, so I'm not going to sew all the way around this clasp on camera. I'm going to do it later on once I've finished everything else that I have to do. So yeah, so back stitch all the way around, slip your thread across to there, back stitch to there, tie off, weave the end in. I'll meet you back there.